Hey there, fellas. All right, how's everybody's season going? Mine's not so great. I haven't got to hunt very much at all. School was kind of rough this past semester, business stuff, just a lot of work around the house, family stuff. But I'm still out there trying, hunting this late season, which is never much fun, is it? I hunted out my transformer quite a bit this year. Really liked that. I'm normally a single panel guy because I can custom build them to fit my butt just right, so they work really well for me. If you can find a way to custom build one to fit you, man, that's the way to go. If you can't, go buy a transformer. They fit everybody, right? But I've also hunted quite a bit out of this new saddle here. Well, not this exact one. I just built this one today, but one just like this one. I've been making a single panel pleated saddle for a long time, a couple of years at least now, and really like the way that I've got that to fit. I think most people make them too big, so they make them to fit while they're closed, and then when you open them up, they're way too big. The secret to doing that is make them kind of small when they're closed, and then when you open them up, they fit your butt just right. That's what you're looking for. So I had this design that I've made for years now for a lot of friends, and had a lot of luck with it, and decided to try to find a way to fix a few of the issues that you run into with pleated saddles. The number one issue being that you can't keep the pleat closed, right? So I found a way to do that without adding these adjuster straps from the transformer, and the pleat stayed closed until I opened it, which worked well for me. But then, let's try to find a way to incorporate some of the adjustment from the transformer into this new saddle. I don't know what to call it yet. If you guys come up with a name, let me know. But in order to do this, to add these adjustment straps from the transformer, I had to kind of start at the end and work my way backwards building this saddle. So they're a pain in the butt to build. And I've sent a couple down to the factory they're working on, trying to learn how to build those. Find a better way to build them, maybe. But for now, I'm making these things one at a time, 100% custom orders by me. Not a ton of them, but if you want one, we'll figure out how to make it happen. And we'll come up with a name eventually, something cool and trendy, hopefully. But let's dive into it and take a look at this thing. This is a pleated saddle, just like, well, not just like, but a lot like every other pleated saddle you've ever seen. A few differences. We've got this top row of molly along the waist belt that comes down into really stiff, really big open lineman's loops, and then circles back around and rides on the bottom part of the pleat right here, right? And then the leg straps ride along the top part of the pleat. And there's a little space in between, but right there's your pleat, Now the reason that I position these here is because you need something really strong and sturdy to attach these adjustment straps to. You can't just attach them to the fedora, it would rip it right out. So we've got these straps here that tie in with the adjustment straps, just like you have on the transformer. So open these up, and works better if you don't hold on to it. Open these up, open your pleat up, right? And then tighten them back down, close your pleat up. So this kills two birds with one stone. It's not just about keeping the pleat closed. I'll show you in a minute how it actually helps to add comfort and a custom fit to your saddle. But for right now, you can wear this thing in and put as much weight as you want to on it, and your pleat won't come open. It's made out of 500D cordura, just like the transformer is. All US made products. I don't think anything on here is not US made. If it is, I don't know about it. The thread, right down to the thread, everything's US made, as far as I know. I've got the molly and the D-ring, just like the transformer on mine, because I put that on all my saddles. The way these are going to work, they're going to be 100% custom. I don't know, this First light came on, I'm pretty sure it is. I had a friend send me some of this to make him a custom transformer, and there was a little left over, so I made myself a new saddle out of it to try it out. But if you can find some of this and you want to mail it to me to make your custom saddle, we'll use it. Whatever you want to use, we'll track it down, make it whatever color you want it, whatever camo you want it, I don't care. We'll figure it out. Because these are going to be, until the factory figures out how to get these dialed in, I'll be making all of these by hand, by me, one at a time. We'll figure out how to go about getting that order in. May do it through the website, may do some email, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But there's going to be a very limited amount of orders, like 15 to 20 a month, that I'm going to take on and personally build for now. And that doesn't have to be this saddle, whatever we decide to name this thing. It can be, if you want a custom transformer, a size 3 transformer. By the way, the size 3 transformer, that's what the factory's working on right now. So as soon as those are done, I'll let you guys know. I've built 10 to 12 of those now, and for guys that are like 44, 46, 48 inch waist and over 300 pounds, and they're loving them. So apparently they work well. It's a much bigger footprint than the transformer, and it fits good. But anyway, this thing is going to be made by me for now going forward. And if you get one of those, we'll just call it a custom spot. It's not going to be this saddle, just a custom spot. You can get this saddle, you can get the transformer, whatever you want, customized the way you want it. So let's try this thing on and I'll show you how it works. Let me pack you guys over here real quick. It goes on just like every other single panel saddle you've ever seen. Waist belt, leg straps, and I've got mine sewn on here permanently, but if you wanted to make them removable like the transformer, you could easily figure that out. I think the ones that I sent to the factory actually have removable leg straps, so if they ever get those lined out, they'll probably be removable just like the transformer. I tied the bridge on with a figure 8 on this side and a loose prusic on this side, so it'll pivot on those bridge loops. Those bridge loops are just Cordura covered in the same camo pattern as the saddle, just like the lineman loops are. So before we clip in here, I guess you guys want to see what it's like wearing it in. So you can see it's a pretty small footprint. I like to keep it really small until you open the pleat, and then it fits your butt. If you make it too big like this before you open it, then when you open it, you're going to have it way down here on your legs. And that's the problem that you run into with most of your single panel pleated saddles. So I made a really small footprint that fits you once you open it. Here's what she looks like wearing it in. You can see it's not going to come open. Big open bridge loops and lineman loops, easy to get to. If you notice this space here, I made this a little wider than I usually would, and it's worked out really well for me because it keeps these straps off of your hip bone. So right here is my hip bone, and you've got the straps far away from your hip bone. That's what causes hip pinch. Whenever you get these straps up too tight like this, they put all that weight right there on your hip joint and hip bone. So you've got a lot of real estate here between the straps so you don't get hip pinch. And now, most of my hunting, I'm leaning, and I don't even open this thing up. I just lean back into it like that. And while it's closed, it's a little small, but it works really well for me for the leaning. Now, if you want to sit in it, you're definitely going to want to open it up. But for this leaning position, it rides right underneath my butt, doesn't come up too high on my back, and leans just like most of your single panel saddles. You would think like a Phantom or the old Arrow Hunter saddles, you know, just good for leaning, small footprint. Now, when you want to sit, you just do your normal transformer flip. You put your fingers on the adjusters and pull these straps out. And I just loosen them all the way up. throw your pleat open like that and sit into your saddle. And now you've got this big cupping hammock type seat that you get with most of your pleated saddles, which is really comfortable for sitting. It's a little bit too much for leaning, but for sitting, it gets a lot of support under your butt. One thing I really like about Cordura, better than mesh, is that it provides a lot more support. There's no stretch. So you don't end up with a big stretchy seat and all of your weight on this strap and this strap, which causes a lot of discomfort. Cordura is it's a really solid, kind of stiff material. So you end up putting a lot of your weight onto the seat portion, and it helps even everything out so you don't get kind of sore spots from straps, right? So now I've got this loosened all the way up. I just reach back and kind of tighten them up to where they're snug, and that's a perfect fit for me. Now, if you have a little bit smaller butt than I do, or you're getting a little bit of pressure here on your legs, well, you're kind of out of luck, right? With most saddles, they kind of are what they are. They're opened up, and this is what it is. The secondary thing that came from putting these adjustment straps here is being able to tighten it up just a little bit. And you see when I tighten that, it's pulling everything together and making the footprint of this seat portion smaller. So if you want to get that right, get the bottom strap right under your butt, I just closed up that pleat a little bit by pulling on these straps and lean back into it, and you can see that the saddle shrunk. So now I've moved this strap up, and I've got this one right where I want it, this one right where I want it, and everything's locked in there and solid because the straps are holding that saddle body where I set it, right? And if you wanted to, that's kind of like a lean into a sit position I'm in right there. It fits really well. If I wanted to go back to sitting, I just reach back and loosen those straps, pull this down like it was, and now I've got more of a chair, right? If I want to go back to leaning, I just stand up and take the slack out, go back to my original closed footprint, and go into a lean. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's nothing game-changing. It's a single-panel pleated saddle, just like everyone you've ever seen, I imagine. But adding a few of those little adjusters from the transformer have really helped with keeping the pleat closed and giving you more of a custom fit on your butt. And that's what it's all about with saddles, is finding one that fits you well. And that's kind of what I've tried to do making saddles, is give you guys the ability to, you don't have a sewing machine in your house like I have, I imagine, or at least one that'll make a saddle like I have. So when you buy a saddle, you're at the mercy of whoever made that thing and hope that it fits your butt right. And that's kind of what I've tried to do with the transformer, and now with this saddle, whatever we end up calling it, is giving you an option to dial it in and custom fit it to you. And I think that I put a lot of work into this, and I've used it quite a bit. It's held up great. Everything that I was worried about ended up not being an issue. So I think it's time to release this thing and let you guys try it out. Now, the ordering thing is going to be an issue. I have to figure that out over the next couple of days. But like I said, we'll just take custom orders, and you tell me you want this new saddle or transformer or what, you get a spot, it's your spot. But I'll find out a way to set up those orders, if it be over just opening up orders on the website like we used to, whatever, but I'll let you guys know. Anyway, hope you guys have had a good season. Hope you guys are excited to try this thing out, and I really hope that you can come up with a name for it, because I don't know what the heck to call this thing. Have a good evening, guys.